I really want everybody to understand why we're doing this thing. So tell me, like, for you, why is this?
Why are we doing this? Well, why not? I think by putting our two heads together, you can help them create the practice they want, and I'll help them with their money, what to do with it, and how to make more of it, and how to get wealthy. The wealthy lawyer, go either.
Exactly. And even if they have it more together now, they certainly didn't have it together when they were in their, third, fifth, 10th year of call, right? Maybe they got it together when they, became a really senior partner. But what about all those years in between that they could have been, figuring it out a lot sooner, where they could have started to hit that stride and figure out, what, this is actually the kind of practice that I want to build. This is actually the kind of business development that feels really fun for me.
I've got one client that actually was on the call with yesterday that has more money than he couldn't burn it fast enough now. Good for him.
Yeah.
But he still wants to do more. He's still looking to accomplish more, both professionally, but also financially. So I think we got a lot to share. I'm excited to do it with you.
Me too.
We're ready to go, man.
Me too.
I'm excited.
So stoked. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Wealthy Lawyer Podcast. I am your co-host, Kelly.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're so happy that you're here with us today. This is the inaugural episode of the Wealthy Lawyer Podcast. And today we're going to tell you a little bit about who we are and why we do what we do. And we're going to tell you how we think this podcast and the conversations that we have are going to help you if you are a lawyer who wants to be a wealthy one.
Either way.
Oh my God, Jeff, we are doing this thing.
Finally, we did it. We're here.
This is the Wealthy Lawyer Podcast.
I love it.
Welcome to our first episode.
Pretty exciting.
We've been talking about this for such a long time.
Not sure what's longer, COVID or our conversations with this.
Like, seriously, this has been in our brains and in our conversations for like 2.5 years. We have known the world needs the Wealthy Lawyer Podcast, and we are finally here doing our first episode.
We did it.
So cheers to us.
Yeah, we need that.
I really want everybody to understand why we're doing this thing. So tell me, like, for you, why is this?
Why are we doing this? Well, why not?
That's a good answer.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're dealing with lawyers all the time, you and I, and I mean, why not scale it out? Why not help more people?
That's it.
We help people every day.
Yeah.
We've talked about that countless times.
Yeah.
And some of the same people.
Yeah.
I mean, we just need to get the word out. I think we can do a lot more. I think there's a lot of people that need our help, and why the hell not?
Yeah.
So what better to do on a Thursday afternoon?
I know. It feels so good because this takes us out of the helping people one by one, and it gives us the opportunity to help a lot more people.
Well, and I think too, Kelly, it's one of those things where, like, our conversation has been private. Like, we've talked about this countless times and shared what we do with clients back and forth all the time. Not naming names, but sharing ideas back and forth. Why just keep it to you and I?
Yeah.
You should let them in.
I know.
Let them hear what we talk about.
It's too much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. So, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
Let's hit it.
All right. So, I would say the biggest reason that I want to get these conversations out, the conversations that you and I have been having, is that, first of all, we both serve lawyers all day, every day. And we hear about their struggles in both, I hear about their struggles in building their books and building their practices into practices that they actually enjoy, and turning business development into an activity or a series of activities that they actually like. And they struggle. No matter what age and stage they're at, they struggle. And I want to be able to sort of demystify what business development is. I want to demystify what it is to build your book in the way that, like, really feels good for you. And, the other thing is that we're both seller doers. We're both service providers, right? Yep. We're both building the kinds of businesses that our clients are trying to build.
Yep.
And so that's how we came together in our conversations. Like, well, you deal with lawyers, I deal with lawyers. Let's talk to each other about the common things that we're seeing and the things that we're hearing from people. How can we serve them together?
And I think that's a big thing, Cal. Like, you know what lawyers are like. We deal with them, as you said, every day. And they work so hard for their money. And all the conversations I have, very few have their money working hard for them. So they work bloody hard every day, 168 hours out of a 168-hour week, and they don't know what to do with their money. So here you are helping them build, helping them become the best lawyers they can be. They're making lots of money, and they have no idea what to do with it. They're scrounging. They don't, whether it's lifestyle creep, whether it's debt all over the place, they have no idea what to do with the money. So I think by putting our two heads together, you can help them create the practice they want, and I'll help them with their money, what to do with it, and how to make more of it, and how to get wealthy. Yeah, the wealthy lawyer, go figure.
Exactly. So build your book, grow your wealth. That's what we're here to talk about.
Right on.
That's what it's all.
Love
what
it.
It all comes down to.
Love it.
And I think these are really unique conversations too, because there are lots of people out there talking about, business development. I do business development with lawyers all day, every day in my work. There are lots of people out there telling people what to do with their money. That's what you're doing with lawyers all day, every day in your work. But bringing these two sides of that coin together, I think is really unique and valuable to people.
Well, and I think part of it for us, what makes us unique, is the fact that there's no bullshit, right? We've had conversations with lawyers before where, you put on airs and they're not telling you everything. Listen, we're going to give you the straight bill of goods. I think that's the big difference between you and I. And I think, we've known each other for 25 years, 20 years? Yeah. There's no bullshit. And I think that's really, what we'll give people is not necessarily it's like Buckley's. It's
Hopefully we don't taste like shit.
Yeah, it's the medicine that doesn't work. Or what is it? How's the line go? It tastes bad, but it works. Sometimes you need to give them the bad medicine, right? Yeah. And that's what we give them. Yeah. And I think that, we're going to be real about it. And I think that's a major thing, right? It's not what they want to hear. It's what they need to hear. Yeah. And I think that's what we're going to be here to help them do. Yeah. I think, when I look at it, Kelly, and I look at our conversations over the last couple of years, we've been all over the place in terms of all the things that we can do for people. But I think that at the end of the day, we can simplify. We can simplify how they build their book. We can simplify what they do with their money, and just give them the ease and the tools to get to where they want to get to. Yeah. And I think that it's not rocket science. Look, it ain't rocket science. But you need somebody to guide you, and you need a plan. Yeah. And I think that's the big thing that we can bring to the table is helping them get a plan and figure out where are they today, where do they want to get tomorrow, and help them get there.
That's the big question, isn't it? Because when we talk about, when I talk to lawyers about building a book, building their practice, building, the kind of practice that they want to have, the first question is, what is that for you? What is success for you? What does a successful practice look like for you as an individual? Because it's different for everybody.
Absolutely.
And so many of them are trying to build what they've seen other people build and just copy that path to success. And guess what? It doesn't work because it's not according to their vision or the reason that they're doing what they do.
I think the authenticity is a big thing. It's the number one question I ask people. Why do you want to do this? Yeah. What is it you're trying to save for? Why are you trying to get to where you want to get to?
What does wealth mean to you?
It's different, and it's different to everybody.
Exactly.
Right?
How long's a piece of string?
Exactly. So it's understanding that, and I think that in both our worlds, people don't define it very well. No. And if you don't have it defined, it's pretty tough to get anywhere.
Do you know why they don't define it? Because nobody asks them the question. What do you want to build? Why do you want to build it? That's where it starts with us, right? Because that's where it started with you and I. Jeff, what are you trying to build with Lamont Wealth? How can we work together? How can I help you grow the thing that you're growing? And you said the same exact thing to me. Kel, what are you building at Southren Group? What are you, how can I help you do that more, do that better? And we understood what each of us was trying to build. Then we could start on the path there, right?
Well, and I think you hit a good point, doing it together. Doing it with somebody. Yeah. Sure, you can read all the books you want. You can listen to all the podcasts you want. Right. But at the end of the day, if you have somebody like Kelly or Jeff able to help you navigate your way through how to get there or where I want to get to. Yeah. Let's start with that. Yeah. How to get there. It's a lot easier than DIYing it all the time.
Absolutely.
And so many people try to do it. And I think it's a mistake. Yeah. Right? It's, I've dealt with hundreds of lawyers, as you have. Yeah. Why not learn from all their mistakes as opposed to making those mistakes yourself? Yeah. Right? Whether it's your side of the equation or mine, listen, learn from somebody else's mistakes.
Yeah.
It'll save you a lot of time, effort, energy, and grief.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I mean, like, why do it?
Yeah.
Right? So why put yourself through the hassle when you don't have to?
And we walk that walk too, which I'm super proud of, is that we know that we don't know everything about doing the thing that we're doing, and we are lifelong learners, right? We are constantly working to improve how we do what we do by, we have a coach too.
Yep.
We have somebody guiding us on the way of building the wealthy lawyer into the thing that we want it to be to help all the people that we want to help. And so everybody, no matter where they are, no matter how great they are at the technical skill of what they do, they can always benefit from talking to an expert about the things that they don't know as well. Right? You can be a shit-hot lawyer and not know anything about business development. You can be an incredibly big producer inside of a law firm and not know anything about what to do with that money so that you grow generational wealth.
And I think the big mistake, Kelly, for younger lawyers especially, is they look at the older lawyers or the more seasoned veterans, and they think they got it all together. And if people only knew what really goes on behind closed doors, they'd be scared.
Yeah.
The amount of, and I think that's one of the reasons why, we start talking, were some of the conversations I had with some of my senior lawyers as clients. They wish they'd met me 20 years earlier. A lot of these clients I met in their 40s or 50s, they wish that they'd met them in their 20s and 30s or that we started a little bit earlier.
We got to have some of those people on this show.
I think so.
We got to have some of those people on the show because I think that, when you tell a more junior lawyer, like, they don't have it all figured out and they think, oh, yeah. No, that person's just a rainmaker. They're just a natural at that. Yep. Oh, that person probably had generational wealth come into their lap because they went to whatever law school.
Yep.
And we say, guess what? That's not how it went. And they wish that they had access to the things that you have access to now to start it a lot earlier.
And I think that's where we can bridge the gap for them, right? It's helping them understand that, listen, they don't have it all together.
Yeah.
And you don't need to have it all together right at the get-go either.
And even if they have it more together now, they certainly didn't have it together when they were in their, third, fifth, 10th year of call, right? Maybe they got it together when they, became a really senior partner. But what about all those years in between that they could have been, figuring it out a lot sooner, where they could have started to hit that stride and figure out, what, this is actually the kind of practice that I want to build. This is actually the kind of business development that feels really fun for me. This is the kind of wealth that I want to facilitate growing because that's the life that I want to have. That's a life that I want to give my kids. I don't want to have to be thinking about, are we doing private school or are we not doing private school? Are we going to go and live in France for 6 months this year? Are we not? Like, whatever those things are, if you start thinking about it when you're in that, 3, 4, 5, 10 year of call, you can have it mapped out. You can have everything that you want.
And here's the thing. It's never too soon. I think that's
never too soon or too late.
I think the biggest mistake that I see with a lot of people is they say, I'm not there yet. I'm not ready to talk to you yet. I'm not big enough for you yet. Oh my God, if I had a dime for every time I hear that.
Yeah, or I'll hear, oh, no, I don't have any responsibility for origination yet. So I don't have to think about business development. Well, what, do you think that you're just going to be given, well, now you're responsible for bringing in this much business. If you want to become a partner, you've got to bring in this much business.
Yep.
And you've never tried those muscles on before. You've never thought about who you are as a builder of business. And all of a sudden you're going to turn on a light switch and it's going to fall in your lap.
Doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen. Just like you wake up one day and say, oh, well, now I need all of this money to be able to do the things that I want to do. And you turn on a switch and your bank account is full because you haven't spent it all. Doesn't happen.
If you can make that happen, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
tell
in.
me how
I'm
to.
in. But I think you're right. It's like people just expect things to just one day magically be different.
When they need it to be there, they expect it to happen.
But it's a process.
Yeah.
Whether you're building your book, whether you're trying to get out of debt, whether you're trying to grow wealth, whatever you're trying to do, it's all a process.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as the overnight success.
No.
Right? It ain't happening overnight. So that's where I think that a lot of the stuff that we're going to bring on here is going to help, right? Helping them understand that it all starts today, right? It's not one day I'm going to do it. Make today day one, right?
Yeah.
Make a small change, right? It's atomic habits, it's James Clear, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Make little steps. Don't expect your business just to be booming.
Yeah.
Clients to walk in the door. Don't expect people to be, handing you business all the time. At the same time, don't expect to have $1 million in your bank account by the end of the year.
Right.
It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
baby steps,
Yeah.
right? And I think that, especially nowadays, everybody's so eager to do it yesterday, right? Everybody wants everything yesterday. They want the big book yesterday. They want to be partner yesterday. They think that everything is about doing it fast.
Yeah.
Play the long game.
Play the long game. Always play the long game. You know, when we talk to our clients about that exact thing, and I'm sure you do the same thing because it applies to both building the book and growing the wealth, is that actually bringing the files in is the lagging indicator of success in business development, right? You got to plant the seeds. You've got to put the seeds in the ground. You've got to water them. You don't walk out the next morning after you plant a seed and pick fruit from the tree, right?
No.
It doesn't happen that way. And I use this analogy with my clients all the time. Put the seeds in the soil. First, you got to prepare the soil. Put the seeds in the soil, water it, give it sun, give it all the conditions that it needs to succeed. Eventually, you're going to have a tree that bears fruit for the rest of its life, right? But unless you do all of that work and that nurturing, that creation of who you are as a developer of business, it's the same thing as putting $1, $10, $100,000 in your bank account, making it work for you. It doesn't just multiply overnight without any time and attention and focus, right?
Well, I think that's the thing. It takes, you have to be intentional with it, right? I think that's a big thing, right? And it's one of those things where, you know, when it comes to money, so you help them build their book, right? Now they're making some decent money. It doesn't just, money begets money. So if you're able to save a little bit, it becomes a lot.
Yeah.
But like you said, you know, plant the tree today.
Yeah.
And let it grow. It doesn't instantly produce fruit. And I think those that think that it will, that's where you get into bad mistakes with your money.
Yeah.
Get rich quick schemes. I mean, lawyers are notoriously the worst group for the Persian or the Congo prince that sends the email that's gonna. Lawyers are the #1 culprits for losing that money.
You're kidding me.
Go fucking figure, eh?
I had no idea. I thought you were actually pulling my leg on that one.
I heard about it in the States that it's they are the #1 victim to those is lawyers.
Wow.
Go figure. So again, people just trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that that's where things are a lot different, where it's time, intentionality,
Yeah.
and knowing why you're trying to do it. All those things lead up to a long game.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it's just, you have to be a little more intentional.
Yeah. I want to pick up on one thing that you said there, which is that money attracts money. And you can insert whatever it is that you're trying to attract here. You know, success attracts success. Money attracts money. Money builds money. Success builds success. Whatever the thing is that you want more of, you've got to have a little bit of it to start with. I was having this conversation with my son just last week, right? Because he's at the beginning of a career that is not a traditional, it's a hard go, right? Yep. It's creative. Yep. And he knows that to be successful, he needs to have a grain of success that he can build on. Once he gets that grain of success, and he actually sent me a quote about, the success will attract the success. The money will attract the money.
Absolutely.
I have to be successful. In order to do that, I have to just give me like a grain of success. And that's what we're talking about with our clients. I was so proud that he said that at 20 years old, he already knows that. He told me, maybe it's been going into his ear over all of this time that his dad and I have been saying it, but it is the core concept. Whatever it is you want more of, you have to create. You have to be intentional about. And then you have to put your focus on it like it is the only thing in the world that matters, because it's not going to happen without that.
There's no magic pill.
No.
It's funny you say that, Kelly, because the other day I was talking to a new lawyer client of mine, young lady, and she didn't think she could save any money. She went through her budget and figured she couldn't save $1. So we stretched her thinking a little bit. And listen, if there's anybody that's going to say, don't drink lattes, it ain't me. Because I'm a Starbucks.
I've seen you with your Starbucks,
I'm a Starbucks
habit for 25 years.
So I'm not going to be the guy that says that.
Yeah.
But that said, there's always ways that we can save a little bit.
Yeah.
So we challenged her thinking a little bit. And in 4 months, I guess, 3.5 months, she's amassed basically a 1 month's worth of all her living expenses. She's got that much saved up in her bank already.
Unbelievable. Is she is she blown away by the fact that happened?
She was ecstatic. She was so excited that now she wants to push herself further. Mm-hmm. But like you said, it started with a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. And then it just becomes easier. It becomes habit.
It does. That that story makes me think of one of the clients that I was working with, also a younger woman who just became partner. So she just had, all of a sudden this need to originate, to bring in work. And she was a little bit more reserved, a little bit more soft-spoken. She didn't think that was really in her wheelhouse to be able to do. And so in the conversations that we had, we found the things that she feels really comfortable doing and enjoys doing. And she hadn't made the connection yet between doing the things that she enjoys, interacting with people the way she likes to interact with people, and that could actually turn into business opportunities. So I invited her to just do more of those things that she enjoys. She likes one-on-one connections instead of going into big rooms of people, right? Like I'm like that. I totally get that, right? And so I encouraged her to just reach out for more of those coffees and conversations, or, go for a pedicure with somebody who might refer business or be a client. Invite them to, the wreath making thing. Do these different things.
Yep.
And it was like all of a sudden, but it started to bear fruit, and it started to feel really good for her. And she had this epiphany of, you mean if I do more of the stuff that I actually enjoy doing, that's business development? It's the same thing as the story of your young lawyer too, right? Like, you mean if I just take this little bit and put it aside, that's going to grow into my living expenses for the month? And it seems like the most obvious thing to us because of what we do every day.
Right.
But it is the most mind-blowing information when people actually see it happen and materialize for themselves, right? It's like we've given them the key to the universe.
Well, I think it's like a lot of things, right? Everybody thinks about how big it really needs to, like how big they need to make things. I need to save thousands of dollars a month. I need to, I need to get the big client up front. Well, no, just start off small, right? It's just, it ain't that difficult. Yeah. But it's amazing how momentum can be on your side. Oh, right?
Absolutely. Momentum in either direction. You're either sitting still and you keep sitting still and keep saying, I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. Or you start rolling the snowball down the hill and it can't stop.
Well, that's why I'm excited that we're doing this, right? Yeah. I think we got a lot to share. I mean, we've dealt with so many people that have been through various stages of the career. Yeah. That have reached the climax. Yeah. That have tried to reach for the climax and haven't gotten there for whatever reason. Yeah. And the same with the wealth. I mean, the amount of people that I talk to that, I've got one client that actually was on the call with yesterday that has more money than he couldn't burn it fast enough now. Good for him. Yeah. But he still wants to do more. He's still looking to accomplish more, both professionally, but also financially. So yeah. I think we got a lot to share. Yeah. I'm excited to do it with you.
Me too.
We're ready to go, man.
Me too. I'm excited. So stoked. And I'm so excited for people to find us because there's so many people who need this, right? Yeah. And to be of service to those people and to have conversations with those people, for those people, no matter where you are in your legal career, no matter where you are in terms of how great a business developer you are, you can always do better. No matter where you are on your wealth journey, you can always do more. And I just can't wait to have these conversations for everyone who's out there listening.
Too. I'm glad we're here.
Yay!
Let's get after it.
Let's do it.
All right. Hey guys, thanks for watching today, our inaugural episode of The Wealthy Lawyer. Don't forget to like, comment, and let us know what you think. What do you want us to talk about? Give us some content ideas, and we'll see you all soon.